Hello, are we live? Guys, for some reason this stream key is not working with Twitch. I don't know why. I set it up and created the plugin and everything using GitHub. And I don't know why it's not working. It says that it's invalid and it cannot connect. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know. Are you guys live? Are we there? Is everything working? Hello, Marina. Hello, hello. Today's a big day. Actually, I feel like the camera's like too far. There. That's better, right? Ah. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera because I feel like this is better. Anyways, guys, today is a big day and I'm really excited. We're going to be doing everything for the architecture and we're going to get set up. Everything from starting our environment and installing all of the dependencies and then building out our architecture. How many people already have GitHub and VS Code and the Anthropic API? Or Anthropic period, Claude? I'm guessing yes, no? Anyways, we're going to go through it. So we're going to start here. I have a little bit of a prompt engineering for beginners. We're just going to kind of briefly go over this because I'm not sure how familiar everyone is with prompt engineering. And I kind of just want to go over the basics so that we kind of understand like what we're doing here. So I wrote this because, to be honest, prompt engineering is really a formality, right? It's thinking about like a role and how do we create that role for the system and the type of work that we want to do. And that is all based off of the role that we're going to build. So if you guys want to check on the MetaKitties website as well, this is all provided for you. I'm going to just briefly go over this, like I said. So we have what is an actual prompt, how the AI reads what you write, the 5-layer prompt framework, the prompt formats, and then the rules that every beginner needs. So what is a prompt? What is it? It's not just a question. So you know when you're typing something in the LLM and you're like, how do I do this? Well, you don't just have to ask it that. You can do all different types of things. And a lot of people will use it as a search engine, but it is even so much more powerful than that. And think of it like hiring your brilliant employee. You know, you're thinking about how you're going to train them, what kind of role you're going to give them. And that's what we're going to be doing. So last episode, I don't know if you guys saw, but we kind of went a little bit over this already. So like I said, I'm just going to briefly go through this. How the AI reads what you write. So it doesn't have memory of you, just FYI. It is taking context that we're giving it that each time it has to retain and remember. So if we don't give it context, then there's going to be things that it's going to mess up with and it's not going to be very good and consistent, right? So that's why it's very literal. Like it's not the same as, oh man, I forgot or I meant to say that. Do you know how many times this has happened to me? So many times where I'm like, I swear I meant to say that and I didn't. And so because of that, the app or the website or whatever is not what I envisioned. But AI doesn't understand that. You have to be extremely literal with it. So the golden rule is just assume AI knows nothing about you and it will follow instructions exactly as you write them. So it mirrors the quality that you're thinking aka you write in the prompt, because prompt is everything, right? Architecture is key. So that's what we're really going to be honing in on. And I'm very excited for that. So let's think about just real quickly about the role that we're building currently right now, right? What does that look like? How are we going to envision this entire AI framework? And what's that AI going to look like? Well, we're going to be giving it an entire role of an orchestration, right? So we're thinking about the actual reality of how we're going to create this agentic operations framework, because that is key. And we have to understand that there's going to be multiple parts for this, but we're going to create an entire framework so that we understand the source of truth. There's going to be a sprint associated, our mission, our live concept, and everything from our 6 agent framework. So this is huge, because we have to build this out with understanding that this is going to be also built for any business idea. We're going to use a framework of any business idea. I'm going to make it so that you guys can build and kind of customize it yourself, but we will have the way that, as far as the content creator scaling ability, that's going to be the main focus and priority. All right, so why 6 agents? I'm sure you're wondering, like, well, what's up with the 6 agents? Because the 6 agents is the minimum viable for what we're building, because each one cannot be safely integrated without either losing quality or accountability. So we are building 6 agents because they form that closed loop. And this goes from the strategist to the creator, to the distributor, the orchestrator, the analyst, and then the guardian. So all of this is validating the system. And then we have our master prompt that we're also going to be building. So this is going to be the full system, and we are going to create the entire formality for this, because everything is going to be in markup, which is great. And we'll have our keys as well, which everything's going to be in VS Code. So VS Code is a text editor that we're going to have. I already have it installed. If you have not, it is available in my bio here in the stream chat, or in the stream description. You can just go to MetaKitties, and then there's the build guide. If you follow that, everything that you need to install is already there. You just have to literally click, and it gives you step-by-step instructions. So I had said last episode that this is something that we want to make sure, obviously, we have a safe environment for. So if you guys want to follow along, that's awesome. If you already have your environment set up, even better. But I really want to get into the architecture in this episode. So we're going to primarily focus on that. All right. So all the 5 layers that we're going to be building, guys, are what is going to be the cream of the crop for what we're building, like I said. And we're building an entire live concept too. So everything is live. Everything we build is built on stream. So this is a huge deal, because every mess up, everything that goes wrong is going to be known and seen, which is awesome, right? Because it's authentic. And I like that. I feel like that's better than forcing something and not being genuine with it. So, okay. First step, we are going to open VS Code. So I have VS Code here already. And we are going to, as you guys can see the window here, we're going to install the extension for Claude. Yeah, so for Claude. So if you go into the extensions right here, right? Yeah, right here. No, right. Wow. Right here. So if you go right here, then you can type in Claude, and then we have this installed, because this is going to be the bank of everything. We're going to make sure that everything as far as our back end and our front end are communicating via VS Code. And we're going to use Claude Code and integrate that as a plugin. So let's first do that. Let me know when we are good to go on that. It's a very simple process. You should be able to just restart it once you have it installed, and then it will by default be integrated into your plugins right here. Okay. So we have our env file. So this is going to be a just basic.env file that we're going to store our API keys in. This is super duper duper important because, guys, you do not want anyone to see this. There is very sensitive information as far as your API keys that will be in here. And that's what will live in here primarily. And that's it. So if you want to make sure that it's safe and secure, then you want to make sure that this is always hidden and never revealed. So we are going to install our API keys and we're going to go through the whole process. I'm going to also share my I will also take questions if you guys have any questions or anything that maybe you're having a difficult time setting up. I need to remove that. So yeah, this key is very, very sensitive and we do not, like I said, we do not want it to get in the hands of anyone. Okay, so guys, my hair is wet right now. I came from hot yoga. So that's how much I was like, you know what? Who cares? That's why I'm excited about this series, is because, to be completely honest, this is going to be, it's going to be a little challenging, I think, because I'm going to have to let go of all the fear of being judged and not prepared and not having everything perfect. But it's good. I think that's really good because, oh my goodness, how much time do we spend caring about what other people think? Literally a lifetime. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to be able to be genuine in my learning journey with you guys. Because guess what? If I can do it, so can you. That's the beauty of it. All right, so do I have the chat here? How are we doing, guys, with installation so far? I want to make sure that I'm not going too fast. I know everyone is kind of in different areas and levels, but I have the build series and the guide already so you could set up your environment. So if you have any questions with that, feel free to shoot me a message as well, because I would be more than happy to go over that. But I know that a lot of people really want to get in the architecture of this. So I want to get through and just make sure that we've got everything set up so that we can actually have our dev environment set up, because that's very, very important. So I want to make sure that we have everything. And where is... Okay. Give me a second. Okay. So guys, I am also not gonna lie. There's so many different things that I'm like, Okay, we have to make sure that these are installed, and I also want to make sure that I'm not kind of I'm not giving away any information that I'm not, you know, I'm not really supposed to, as far as information that's kind of confidential. Okay. So we are going to Okay. I've created a new key now, so we're good. Yeah. Give me a second. Okay. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to go back into our VS Code. Once we have the Claude code, we're going to open up a session. So we're going to go right here. And we're going to open up a new session right here. Super duper easy. And then we're going to create a file. So we're going to go to the top here where it says file, and we're going to click on new file, and it's going to be .env. And then we're just going to say, that's it. Create file. Yes. We're going to replace that. Okay. So now this is where you already have your key. Make sure to copy that because we're going to want to have that. And also, if you don't have anywhere to store it, I highly recommend storing it on either somewhere that's confidential, because you do not, like I said, you do not want this to get out anywhere. This is very, very sensitive information, and it is, yeah, guys, it's kind of, you got to be prepared to make sure that things don't get out of control, right? Okay. So now we are going to literally click on here, and we're just going to copy and paste. Oh, shoot. I don't want to do that live. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this without giving information away. This is the parts that I was kind of worried about because I didn't know how this was going to go. Okay. That's okay. We are... Okay. This is real, guys. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this without... I guess what I could do is I could just create a new key after showing this. Right? I think I could do that. I think that's fine. Okay. So then I guess what we're going to do is you're going to type in your Anthropic key. So actually, is it not showing the correct browser? Why is it not showing that? Why does it say welcome back MetaKitties? Uno momento, let me see. Okay, give me a second. Why is it not showing you guys this, what I'm saying? Meh. Okay. Ay, Dios mío. Yeah, because you guys can't see my browser, right? You just see MetaKitties. Where is that coming from? Let's see. Visual Studio Code. Oh, what a tontona. You... Oh my gosh. Okay, so I didn't have VS Code open. Oh my gosh. You know what? Sometimes we don't do them. We try to do our best, but sometimes we're just kind of a little bit of a hot mess. And that's okay. Like I said, if I can do this, you can do this. So, okay. Now we have Visual Studio Code open. So we're going to create the EMV file, and then we're going to create the Anthropic. So it's going to be Anthropic API underscore key and then equals. So if you don't want to type this out, it's already available for you in the build guide. All you have to do is go down to the part from one foundation. So now we're going to paste our API key. Shoot. Okay. So I'm going to paste it, but I'm going to do it not on cam. Mainly just because I don't really want, I'm a little worried security wise if I should do that. You know what? Screw it. I'll make a new key. It's fine. Okay. So now that we have our key, then you're literally just going to save this. Because this is everything right here. I'm going to get off this page now. Okay. So now, guys, now that we have our key installed, now we're going to make sure to install all of the dependencies. So I already have these installed, but you might want to ask Claude Code. Like, we can do this right now. So literally just type in npm and then install. Can you guys see this? Okay. Okay. So this is super important because once you give permissions into Claude Code, then you're going to see that it's going to ask permission in order to see the back end. So we're going to say yes. Okay, so it says that there's no package because like I said, this is all new. We're all setting this up. So we're going to literally just go like this. Copy, paste. Boom. How awesome is that? Yes. And we're going to say just this for now. Yes. This is why I love VS Code because it creates everything for you. It's so easy to use. And honestly, it does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, which is amazing. How is everything running right now? Okay. It says air try again. What? Bruh. I think it's good. I'm like, I think it's good. Let's see. You can't see my screen, right? Okay. We need to build... You guys, we need to build an on-screen chat. I think that would be fun to do on stream. We could do one with ChatGPT and we can like design it together. That'd be fun. Let's see. Okay. So now that we have these dependencies installed, then we are going to use, I have a master prompt here that I'm going to utilize just because of the fact that I want to make sure that this is pretty streamlined. And so we're going to go back up to file, new text file. And if you guys do not have access to this, I will drop this into the chat if you'd like me to. But we're going to start building our .md file, which this is all of our metadata. This is how our AI agent is going to understand the prompt. And this is everything. So we're going to start with, okay. We're going to say meta kitties AI. Oh, my bad. AI agent Wow. Agentic. Operations. Bruh. You know what? Sometimes I really hate nails. But it's a vibe. Okay. So we've got this that is building our framework now, right? So we are going to explain exactly what we need from it. So we're going to say in the chat here, let me open up this. Okay. If you can see the terminal. Can you guys see the terminal? Okay. Okay. So we're going to build out in the terminal here. We're going to say, hold on. How are we going to build this out? Okay. You are the orchestration or orchestrator. Orchestrate. You are the orchestrator. You are the orchestrator for MetaKitties. Dude, okay. AI, agentic operations. We're going to say a 6-agent social media content creation and distribution. Platform. Built live. Built live on stream. For the world to see. Your job. So this is where we're getting into giving it a role now. So we're telling it that, hey, you're an AI or agentic operation system, right? And its job is going to be to receive. So we're going to say your job is to receive all requests, classify them, route them to the correct agent, coordinate deliverables across agents. This is very important because we're giving the orchestration agent the understanding that, hey, you're in charge. So you need to make sure that you're delegating jobs properly, assigning them the correct roles, and also making sure that the deliverables that are needed for the specific project, that they are achieved. Okay. Deliverables across agents. Okay. And return client ready. Client ready outputs that move MetaKitties from 0 to 1. You guys, I cannot believe that I'm doing 1 million. Like, what? I really hope that you guys are actually able to implement this framework and use it in however way that you feel you can achieve the most, to be honest. Okay. We need new music, guys. Hold on. Uno momento. Alrighty. Let's go to my account here and load up the music. And we will do I'll just do this one. I like this song. It's pretty. Okay. Yay. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go back. Where is my VS Code? Okay. Oh, it's right in front of me. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to say you do not complete every task. The reason being is because the orchestration agent should never complete tasks. It's going to delegate, review, and assemble, right? So we're telling it you should never complete every task yourself. You delegate, right? Well, yeah. You delegate, review, and assemble. Okay, so now we're going to give it our company mission. So this is where whatever you guys think as far as what you want out of your product, right? What is your mission? So I'm going to put the company mission. And it's going to be to empower creators to safely scale their ideas. Safely scale their ideas with Agentic AI. To reduce production time and expanding reach while staying transparent, sustainable, and human-centric, honestly, because holy cow, like the more and more time I spend on social media, I'm like, there has to be some level of realness here that we need to maintain, to be honest. So we're going to say the live concept. Can we still see this on screen? Okay. So we're going to say the live concept, and we're going to say everything that we build, right? Because we're building this live. Everything that we build will be built on stream. This is huge. I can't believe I'm doing this. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. But I think that it's going to be fun. I really do. I'm not going to lie, like it has been a process to feel confident about doing this because there's a lot of risk with presenting and showing people this kind of information. But I have my disclaimer in the beginning. So what you choose to do with this is your own decision. It's your own brand, your own whatever you're building, right? I'm just showing you how I would set this up and how we can build different tools with this. Because AI is very powerful, honestly. And I think that it can help a lot of people build out their dreams. I really do. Okay, sorry. So I'm just typing here. So I said, you delegate, review, and assemble. And the company mission, can we Okay. Company mission is to empower creators to safely scale their ideas with agentic AI to reduce production time and expanding reach while staying transparent, sustainable, and human-centric. The live concept, everything we build will be built on stream. The process is the content. Show the audience how to replicate the system for any company or personal brand. So how are we following along right now? I think we're good right now, right? How are we doing, guys, with streaming and also with setting up our environment? Are we very good? Are we not? I do want to know. Okay. So I am going to continue on because I do want to get through building some of this. Okay. So now that we've got that and we've got a personal brand, now we're going to say that the brand is MetaKitties, right? Or the brand is whatever you want it. So let's see right now if we type this, because this is all in the terminal, right? What happens? Give me a second. Okay, it might not let us execute in this. Okay, so we're gonna... Why isn't it not letting me... Bruh. Oh my god. I just realized I was typing in the wrong freaking terminal. Oh my god. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be alright. Oh my gosh, you guys. Wow. That's the beauty of it. We mess up. We learn. Okay. So now it's creating the entire project structure, right? We gave it some instructions and some personal brand information. And now we're going to, it says our security flag, our EMV, yes, correct. So it's telling us that our EMV key is on stream. Yeah, I know. It's okay. We're going to delete it. So it's understanding that it is a class, it's classifying this role and breaking it down. So this is great because it's telling us now this is going to be our environment. This is going to be our agents, right? So tell me the answers on stream. The audience is watching us build the route table live. Okay, so what does this 6-agent roster match your vision? Or do you want it to swap, rename any roles? What are your active platforms? What is MetaKitties brand? This is awesome because why does it say... Okay. I'm still live, right? Okay. So this is great because this is guiding us and giving us kind of a little bit of direction as far as like, okay, well, what kind of answers do we need to answer, right? So let's just say brand MetaKitties LLC, right? And then we're going to say personality. Let's just say metaverse native. Am I still okay? Metaverse native. Tropical wild mind. tech spirituality. This is something that also, Marina, you wanted to incorporate your platform to be a astrology platform. So this is something you definitely want to mention, is spirituality part of that. Cosmic Kitty and Matrix Crafter. And then we're going to say colors. I'm going to say hot pink. Oh, shoot. Hot pink. Electric teal. Neon yellow. Cyber purple. Coral orange. I think coral orange is good. Deep. How about deep space? I don't even know if that's a color. It's okay. All right. And then we're going to do a rule. Always dark backgrounds. And always hook wild first knowledge second. Okay. So I always copy this just because I would like to have it also like in a text file, but I do a lot of the times create things as I like progressively go. And then because it's all stored and we have our entire our session for this, then it's easier to actually be able to go back and say, okay, this is everything that we're building out as our prompt. And because it can be edited, then it's great because we can go back and make modifications. Okay. So now we have our 6 agents that we're going to build out, which we have our orchestrator, our strategist, creator, distributor, analyst, and guardian, right? And then we have to give them routing logic as well. So we're going to say, because, yeah, okay. We're going to say your 6 agents. And we're going to say 1 is going to be the orchestrator, which is going to be AKA you, because we're delegating and giving this job and role to the orchestrator, right? So this is like our central command. Intake, classify, route, review, and deliver. Okay. Number 2 is going to be our strategist. So this is going to be our content strategy, right? Pillars, calendars, positioning, competitive research, okay, and then 3rd is going to be our creator. So this is going to be scripts, captions, hooks, carousels, reels, carousels, reels, short form copy, actually. Asset briefs. Yeah, I think that's good, right? For content. I think that's what we should start with. I don't want to get it too complex, because when it starts getting really complex, then it gets there's too many things like in the mix, and it's going to make things really difficult for us to understand and how things are operating properly. Okay. So now we're going to do for the distributor, which is going to be our platform. Scheduling. Our format optimization is going to be very nice. Our cross-platform as well. Adoption. Our posting workflow, right? Because we also need an entire workflow for our posting. Dude, oh my gosh, do we need that? I'm serious. Content is so much work. And then we also, like, we want to be able to collab with people too, right? So collab outreach is pretty important, I think. Let's see what else. How about our community queue? I think that's pretty important. Okay. Our community queue, and I think that's good. I think that's good for distributor. Now we're going to have our analyst. So our analyst is going to be our metrics tracking and our trend identification. Also, we're going to need A and B testing for sure. A and B signals. And probably going to need to study growth pivots as well to understand like what's trending, what's not, what's growing, what is progressive and what's not, to be honest. Weekly. Probably weekly performance. Yeah. Weekly performance reports. Audience insight, right? I would say. Okay. And then we have our guardian, because we need a guardian. Everyone needs a guardian. I love to say that. Wow, I'm such a dork. It's okay though. It's very good. Yes. Brand compliance is very important. We need to do FTC for Meta. TOS as well. Oh wait. Meta TOS. My bad. I thought that was all together. Brand compliance. How about human review? Yeah, we need that human in the loop. We need the gates. We also need scoring as well, because that's very important that the QA has to be able to read the output, and then it needs to be able to assign a score and then say, hey, I'm either accepting this or rejecting this, or it's going to be pending. So that's super important too. Okay, scoring. So that's super duper important. We need safety flags too, dude, because holy cow, if something is not flagged, or if something, let's just say something as far as an escalation, which I'm going to go into it as well. But if we need escalation processes, we need to be able to have a process for understanding what's going to be flagged, and also for checking the agents and checking the failures. We got to flag them. Like, we got to flag for safety and violations, because we don't want that. We do No. No, no, no. We do not. So now we're going to do escalation. Is spell escalation? Escalation. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do escalation protocols because, yes, if something, let's just say that one of our agents, right, is just doing a really bad job and like not getting it right. And we're like, dude, we gave you all the freaking constraints. We gave you the guardrails. Like, what's wrong with you? And let's just say that every other agent is having a great output, but then this agent's like really not doing a good job. Then that means that if it's like, we can define if we want it to be like 3+ amounts of retries, because our retry count is going to be delegated and managed, and it's going to be regulated by our QA, our guardian. And so if we say, hey, like, look, this agent is not, it's failing more than 3 times, then we're either going to have to analyze and understand like what's failing, but we also have to have protocols in place to make sure that, well, what do we do? How do we manage this? We have to flag it, and then that goes against its score. So there's so many things that go into this. It's crazy. It's like thinking about like when someone gets in trouble, or even not even in trouble, just when someone is doing something, mainly in trouble, to be honest. I'm being completely real. Okay. So we have our escalation protocol, right? And then we're going to have a transparency log too. Because we got to know everything, like everything. And then we're also going to do our routing logic. Shoot. Our routing logic, right? Okay. So our routing logic is going to be how we're going to route each individual process that we're going to identify to that agent. So that agent will be responsible for that specific task and delegating and doing those things, right? For this specific agentic system workflow that we have built for content creators. So we're going to say that the routing logic here is, we're going to have our content, right? Meh. So we're going to have our content idea, or I don't know, campaign. Did I spell that right? Campaign. Why does that not look like right? PIGN, mama. Okay. Like I said, the beauty of this is you see everything. You see it all. So it's like, we're doing it. Okay. So we have our campaign, and then we have to have the request, right? So we have our content idea or campaign request. And then that's going to go to the strategist first, and then the creator. So we're going to say strategist first, then creator. Okay. So I should probably have this as like just... Okay. By the way, at the end of this, once we have all the parts, we're going to literally copy and paste all of them and create a master prompt with this. So if you think it's kind of messy right now, that's okay. That's totally okay. This is, like I said, this is a super easy and just a really straightforward way of creating this entire agentic system. But it's awesome because Claude Code in VS Code is amazing. It will do everything. We just have to give it the parameters, and we can reformat and create a master prompt, but we're going to do this step by step. And to be honest, this is the best way to do it, in my opinion, because VS Code is everything, dude. Literally everything. Okay. So we say the creator. Okay. So first, strategist first, then creator. Okay. So then we're going to say We should number this actually. Let's number this. Oops. Okay. So 2 is going to be our writing, scripting, and visual brief. Okay. And that's going to go to the creator, right? Because the creator is going to be the one that's in charge of writing and scripting and creating that entire like visual experience as far as being the content that's generated. This is what we're starting with just because we need to have something viable that's going to work. And I don't want to get too crazy with like stable diffusion models and AI imaging. Like I just want to keep this relatively simple and then we can scale and build from that. Do you guys think that that's a good idea? Okay, cool. All right, so that's going to go to our creator, right? And then we're going to have 3. And our 3 is going to be our metrics performance. So we're going to say metrics performance. Wait, I just realized we need our scheduling and our distributor. Okay, so let's actually have 3. Our 3 is going to be our distributor. Yeah, because it's going to be creator and then, yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to process this in my head. Okay, so we're going to do, the 3rd is going to be our scheduling, right? So, okay. So it's going to be our scheduling platform. Actually, we should probably separate scheduling platform because there's going to be a bunch of different type of platforms that we're going to need to schedule, but we're going to need to separate those because of different formats. Okay. So we're going to also have our format questions because like I just said, we're going to need to be able to understand how that's going to be scheduled based off of the formatting in the platform, right? Okay. So now we're going to say these format questions and this writing and the scripting, or sorry, yeah, the writing and the scripting is going to go with the creator, right? And then after the creator, then it's going to take that specific posting time that we're going to schedule and the platform that it's going to be intended for. And the format question, that information is going to be fed to the distributor because it needs to know like, hey, when am I posting and what's the platform for and what type of formats am I going to be supporting, right? So we're going to say that. So this is good because I'm feeling more comfortable now. I was a little nervous, to be honest, but I'm actually really glad that I'm finally getting out of that because you guys, it's hard to feel comfortable sometimes with dealing with these kind of situations. I'm like, holy cow, this is crazy, you know? Okay. So, okay, let me think about this. So, okay. Okay, so that information is going to go to our distributor, right? Okay, so let me put that in. Okay. So now our distributor is going to look. Oh, no, sorry. Now, after that, it's going to go to our analyst, right? Because our analyst has to study the processes for what is going to be studied performance-wise, metrics, all of that. So now we're going to say 4. And 4 is going to be our metrics. Right? Yeah. Performance. What's literally what's working, because it needs to understand like, hey, this is good or this sucks. Okay. And then we're going to say that goes to our analyst. Yeah. Okay. So we have 2, 3, okay, 4, and then we have 5 that we need to do. Okay, 5. So 5 is going to be going to the guardian. So this is like all of the compliance, all of the safety. And like I said, we're doing it like this because I'm breaking it down, and then we're going to create the master prompt and everything will be formalized. But for me personally, this is my favorite way to do it, just because I've already given Claude access to all of my infrastructure in my backend. So this is cool because it will create all of the dependencies and the files that you need, which is amazing. So this is, honestly, you guys are going to be shocked. Watch. Just watch. Just wait. Just wait. Wait till we have everything posted or put together. Okay. So now that it goes to the analyst, now we have to go to compliance, right? So we're going to say compliance is, well, compliance is compliance. And we're going to have safety and legal as well. Okay. So I just realized that that's like not. Yeah. Okay. So in compliance, we're going to have safety. Legal. Brand check. And this is going to go to our guardian because we're going to say, hey, you need to be compliant. You need to make sure that everything is safe, that there's no violations, everything is regulated, and check that every individual part and process and all the routing logic, that each individual specific agent is doing everything in compliant and also to the standard that we need, right? Like you need to be on point, like brand, everything. It needs to be on point, legal, and compliant so that we don't have to run into issues with this. So that's for our guardian, right? And then we're going to have our orchestration that assembles it all. So that was 5, and we're going to say 6 is going to be our multi-agent or complex request. And this is going to go to the orchestrator, which assembles it all. Okay. So now I just realized that that's got at the end. I got too excited with that. Okay. Okay. Wow. I can't even see my screen. So it's like, okay, here, maybe I can just freaking move this. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right, now we're going to do our operating rules. This is... Guys, I have my laptop literally like right in front of my screen. And it's... If I move it, is it going to mess things up? No way. Is it going to stay? Yes, it stayed. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. That just made me so happy. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's the little things, honestly. It really is. Okay. So now we have the operating rules that we need to think about. So like, what are they always going to be doing, right? So for example, we need to always ask which platforms, which content type, which phase of this 90-day plan. Like, where are we at right now? That's super duper duper important. So we're going to say always, this is super important because we want to make sure it understands. Always ask which platform, okay. Always ask which platform. Bruh. Which content type? Which content type, right? We need that. And which phase of our 90-day plan? Which phase of the 90-day plan? Okay. And then we'll actually number this as well. Okay. 2, we're going to have our always checks. Always check Guardian. Like no matter what. Bruh. Okay. Because Guardian, nothing gets past Guardian. Period. Like there's nothing that will bypass that. That is a number one thing that we have to make sure we're compliant with, which is literally what I'm putting right now. Because before we post anything, no, nothing is going to go past Guardian unchecked. Absolutely not. Before any post. Yeah. Or the public output, right? Super duper 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 important. Okay. We're always going to say always separate. Always separate MetaKitties brand content from our guest and collab and tutorial content, because I do have tutorial content, right? Okay. And we definitely care about the actual output of this, right? So we're going to say always produce structured outputs. And we want to make sure that we are giving this like really clear instruction, because context is everything. So we want to make sure that that information is clear and like every action, even the next, is always documented and cleared. So that's super important. And then we also, what happens if information is missing? Well, we need to make sure that we have some type of strategy or operating rule, right? If information is missing, so we should probably put that. If information is missing, which is not, then we're going to say ask only, listen to this, the most critical question and proceed with. Okay, so the reason I'm saying this is because there might be times when there's not enough information or context provided, and we need to have an operating rule to cover that just in case. So if there's not enough information, then we just need to do and handle with the most relevant and important information that we have. Does that make sense? Okay. So, well, actually, and we can proceed maybe with the, like, I think that smart assumptions might also be helpful. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to say and proceed with smart. How about smart assumptions that are marked safe? That are clearly marked, yeah? That are marked smart assumptions. Yeah, because honestly, there might be situations where we only have specific data to utilize, and we have to make sure if we have smart assumptions with asking the most critical questions, I think that kind of clears us in that sense. Yeah, I'm going to say that are clearly marked and safe. We could say clearly marked. Not safe because it might not be information that, well, no, it's always going to be safe, right? Oh, this is a tricky one. We can say marked, safe, and validated. How about that? That can be, I think that's pretty strong. Okay. Like I said, this is going to be a wild ride. Okay. So now we have 6. So every output must be ready to go. Ready. No, I'm just kidding. Not ready to go. I was thinking of a song. I was like, ready to go, rock and roll. Okay. So ready to copy and paste, because this is going to be super important for our whole template and like framework, and also to publish, you know, and hand to a human, duh, right? Wow. Okay. So now we're thinking about the process, which is the product, right? So I literally think that's what we're going to put. The process is the product. Literally. So that means document everything for the audience. Wow. Okay. Okay, guys. So now we have to get into our sprint milestones. Oh, boy. Okay. So our sprint milestones. Okay. So let's be realistic about this. If we're going to realistically get 1 million followers, by day 7, I should have had 1,000. Let's just do that, actually. Let's just start from... How about let's start with day 10? Because we're already in it. We're already here, so it's fine. It's whatevs. We aight. Okay. 1,000 followers. Day 21. 10,000 followers. Wow, that's a lot. That's very ambitious, right? Day 30. I don't know, 25,000? Okay. Day 60. How about like 150,000? Bruh. And then day 90, I'm dead. 1 million. Holy crap. Holy capole. Oh, wow. Did I really just do? Okay. Okay. All right. So, our posting schedule is going to be next. Wow. Okay. And we'll just put, because I'm on PST, which is Pacific Standard Time. So I already did research on this, and unfortunately, 8 o'clock a.m. We should probably put the actual formality, to be honest. Okay. 8 o'clock a.m. is actually one of the prime times to post reels. I'm like, really? Dude, it is so much work posting content. But if we're generating a platform and building this, we can actually kind of leverage the fact that it can set things up for us, so we don't have to post at that exact time, because it's not an easy task. Okay. So 12:30 p.m. we're going to do, how about a carousel? Yeah. We'll do a carousel. Okay. And then at 7 o'clock p.m. I should probably put, yeah, I already put. Okay. Carousel. And then at 7 p.m. we're going to do a... How about a story or a reel? Yeah. We'll do a story or a reel. And we're going to say minimum 3 times daily. Yeah. And we're going to say streamed content can replace scheduled content. When live. Okay. So, boy, now we need our content pillars. Whoa. Okay. So our content pillars are going to be, we're going to have 6 of them since we have 6 agents. So we're going to do P1, which is going to be our AI education. Yeah, right? Yeah, because this is how we build the system. This is, we're literally building it. How we build the system. This is our system. Yeah, okay. That's going to be P1. P2 is going to be behind the build, which is what we doing. And this is going to include... I'm probably going to have to... Yeah, you know what? How about live stream highlights? Holy capoly, yes. And also the process as well. Yeah. Big time. The process transparency. Because, okay, guys, like, to be honest, there's a lot of parts to this. And I don't want to waste anyone's time, to be honest, because I know that people want to get building and they have their own ideas. And so I did create like our framework for what we're going to do for the stream because I knew that we have a timeline and it's to show you guys how we're going to build this and we're going to scale. But in order to build it, we have to build it. We can't just be like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how we're going to do it. We have to have a framework. So this is what we're doing. This is how we're building it. And we got a lot to go from here, to be honest. A lot. Okay. So our P3, this is going to be hard, but our creator empowerment. Yeah, our creator empowerment. So this is basically how this is why I'm doing this live, is because I want to demonstrate like how you can do this too. We're literally going to say that. That's the beauty of this, is like, this is not for super special or like any type of, you don't even have to be a freaking developer or an engineer. You literally just have to have an idea and understand how to prompt and put it together. That's it. That's literally it. It's pretty cool. Okay. So we've got to P3 now. And our P3 is going to be... Wait, I have P3. My bad. P4. Our P4 is going to be our brand universe. Metakitis. Meow, meow, meow. Why am I so weird? It's okay, right? It's aight. Okay, so this is our brand universe. This is going to be like our, you know, our aesthetic. Camera, please. Our vibe. because we love the vibes and our personality because, bro, we're weird. And that's okay. It's a beautiful thing about it. I keep saying that's okay as if I'm like telling myself that. Yeah, that's literally. Okay. Then we have our community and collabs, right? So we have our guests, our collabs. Collaboration is everything. Our audience. Yeah, our audience. Our audience what? Our audience features and ideas. I love that. Speaking of that, guys, so guess what? So Marina has a really freaking cool idea that she's going to be using to build out her own brand and her own system. So she's going to she has an entire amazing astrology and numeric system, right? Numerology company that she's building. And she's going to make this into an entire like self-revealing experience for like figuring out who you are and how the world relates to you. And I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. And so she's going to be using this system and she's building out like a hackathon. So like she's going to have two different systems that are competing against building out the system. So that's how freaking cool is that? I love that. So she's brilliant and beautiful and one of my besties. Love her. She's amazing. Okay. So so we have our audience features and then we have to have our results, duh, right? So then our P6 is going to be our results and proof. So this is like our real time, dude. Honestly, our real time followers. Yeah. These are going to be the wins, the learnings, the names. And we're going to say when I give you a request. Oops. Request. When I give you a request, first classify it, right? Because it needs to be classified. So we're going to say, when I give you requests, right? We're saying this to the AI orchestration agent because we're literally talking to it. We're going to say, when I first give you a request, first classify it and then assign it to the right agent, right? So we're going to say, yeah, literally that. Wow. Then assign it to the correct agent. Honestly, we should put an S just because there could be more than one agent, to be honest. Yeah. And then we're going to say execute using this manual. And return this is where we're going to say a structure. Return a structured client ready. Yes. Output. With our next steps. Okay. So this is, guys, this is how we're going to build this whole thing out. Is we're literally going to give it step-by-step instructions. And we're also going to understand how and what we need to do to make sure that this agent is not just the orchestrator, but each individual agent, how their role is going to be broken down. But right now we have to create, like I said, the orchestration agent, because orchestration agent is in charge of everything. Delegation, jobs, roles, and reviewing what the actual end goals of this platform are. So it's like, hey, I understand the mission. I understand like what we're doing, what we're building, and it's going to be in charge of everything. Like the dashboard, the tasks, everything. It's going to be one responsible for analyzing and making sure that everything is complete. And not just that, but our goals are met. Okay. So now we're going to get to the... Honestly, we're getting now to... Oh, shoot, I just realized... I should have probably put this in markup. Okay. That's okay. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. So then we're going to say, wow. Let's just maybe not even say that part. We'll just say agent specifications. Okay. Yeah. What does that look? Okay. So we're going to have agent 1, right? And this is going to be our orchestrator. And then, oh, yeah, I really wish I would have put this in a freaking markup. That's okay. Okay, then we're going to have our role, which is going to be our central command. Yeah, our central command center. Right? So we'll just say central command because it's not just a center. It's a whole freaking operations of everything. So this is going to be the only agent that speaks directly to the human operator, aka me, right? Or you. To the human operator. Super important. Because, like I said, this is like director level. Everything is managed and handled from the operator, aka me. But actually, technically for the AI agents, they're going to be listening and being managed by the orchestrator. Okay. So we're going to say that their responsibilities, right? Yeah. Okay. So the responsibilities are going to be to receive and classify every incoming request. Okay, and just so that we have formality, we're going to say using the orchestrator prompt given above, create a structured and polished create a structured and polished AI agentic agentic framework and master prompt. We also need, let's see. Yeah. Prompt. That is organized by area, execution, agent, and end-to-end system flow. We're just going to say that real quick because I feel like this got a little disorganized considering the fact that we separated it, and I was just trying to figure out, like, how do I want to present this? So, okay. That will help put everything together. Okay, so we're going to say review and classify every incoming request. We're also going to say determine. Right? Determine which agents are active. This is super important, by the way, because agents are going to need to be announced when they're activated. This is how we understand and know exactly which agent is responsible for this. And we'll be able to do that by having a agent output logs. So we'll have like failure reports and contribution logs, things like that, because we need to understand where the failures happen and also where the bugs and crashes and all of that, right? We need to be able to measure that and understand that so we can build out a report card for that agent to determine its score and success, because honestly, its success bases off of its value. That's really how it is. Think about like school. When you're in school, well, that's not a really great example, but actually kind of is. I'm like, wait, kind of is actually. It's perfect. It's not for everybody, but it actually is pretty helpful. Okay. So we're going to say determine which agents, right? So it's going to be responsible for determining which agents to activate and in what order. Okay. Okay. So we're also going to say identify missing information, right? Yeah, before execution. I was like, wait. Yeah, because before it executes, it needs to identify all that information that's missing so that we understand, okay, well, this is the specific protocols that we need to follow, aka you need to ask the most important information and look at the different sources that are verified, safe, and that they're properly tracked and labeled, right? Okay. So now we have to think about the reviewing process. So we're going to say review all agent outputs for quality, consistency, and brand alignment. Yeah. And then we're going to say assemble the multi-agent. Assemble multi-agent outputs into unified. Yeah. Client ready, right? Deliverables. Okay. And then we're going to say maintain the operations log. Log and source of truth. Yeah, and source of truth. Hi, emojis. Hi, Papacito. Look at my kitty. He's such a cutie. I love you, Papacito. He's like, no. Okay, and source of truth, documents. Okay. And then report sprint status against the milestones. Dude, I think I need my eyes checked. Cause like my contacts are completely outdated. It's not good. It's like I have to look close. It's okay. That's not great. It's okay. It's okay for this right now. It's whatever. I'm not going to freak out about it. Okay. So our inputs now, we're going to have our client requests. Wow. Okay. our platform data, our agent outputs, our compliance logs, actually not our, yeah, our compliance logs and flags. Yeah. And our brand guidelines. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Okay. Our outputs are going to be task routing plans. I love the song. Okay. Final. Okay. So our task routing plans, probably our final deliverables, honestly. Our status report. And our real action. Yeah. Lists. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to have our decision rule. Dude, the song's fire. I love it. It's AI generated, baby. Go.No. Okay. So decision rule. So we're going to say if a request touches 2+ agents, orchestrator assembles it. And then we're going to say, if it touches one agent, then we're going to say route directly and review. Yes. Okay. Now we're getting into our agent 2. Damn, I'm kind of going fast on this. Oops. Is this bad? Is this good? Or do the strategist. Okay, to be fair, Marina told me, she's like, we have 2-week sprint. Like, we got to go. Like, we got to build this thing. So I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, hackathon mode, let's go. Which is good because once we're able to get an output from this, it's going to be so much fun to be able to edit that and understand, like, how can we improve these processes, right? I think that's what's super exciting. Okay. So we're going to say, you are the brain behind what we make and why. Literally, I'm going to say, the brain behind what we make and why. Dude, I'm such a dork. Okay, but for real though. Let's do our responsibilities. You guys, wouldn't it be so cool if we just had an AI agent that just did our freaking like adulting? Gosh, I swear, sometimes I'm like, it's interesting. It's very interesting how it's like, especially people with ADHD, sometimes you like don't want to do the tasks that you have to do, you know? I think that's actually not just ADHD. I think that's a lot of people. Okay, so we're going to say responsibilities, you strategist, your brain. You're going to say maintain and evolve the 6 content pillars. You are going to be responsible for this. You understand? Okay, and we're going to say build weekly. Yes, oh shoot. Build weekly and monthly content, create calendars. Yeah. Right? Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. We're gonna say identifying trending topics. Formats, yes, you need the formats. And moments to hijack. Oh my goodness. Moments to hijack. Hey, it is a responsibility of content, so. Okay. Let's position Medikitties. Let's position Medikitties against how about against the competitive landscape? I'm starting to get so much more comfortable with this now. Okay. Okay. We also need to define, my bad. Define audience. Excuse me. Personas. Yeah. Right? Define audience, personas, and what else? Growth targets. Okay. How about planning? Yeah, because I want to collab. Let's plan some collab strategies. This is why I freaking love AI, because you can literally specify anything and create based off of just literally context and telling it what you want. It's freaking amazing. Okay. So we're going to say who, when, and how. That's what we're going to ask. My bad. You guys, I need to get my context checked. I'm realizing this on stream. It's pretty bad because, to be honest, I haven't streamed in a long time. And yeah, there's so many things I have to have open. It's insane. Okay. So now we have the who and the when and how. Now we need to also tell it to adopt strategy based on analyst. Data weekly. Weekly, you need to do this, please. Okay. So you know what's something that's kind of interesting and kind of weird? So we actually have to be a little bit pushy with AI, which is very interesting. And the reason being is because you can't just say something like, how do I explain this? You have to be really specific, right? And if you're not pushy, then it won't really understand the actual execution and what it needs to exactly do. It's like, hey, can you review this for me? It's not going to understand what you mean. Even if you're like, hey, I think I messed up here. Can you review this code for me? It might be able to provide you some context, but not valuable enough for you to actually not have to do it again. Yeah. Okay. So we have to be a little pushy and a little direct, which is very interesting. Okay. So we're going to say the inputs are going to be our platform trends, our follower data, our brand guidelines, because that's very important that we follow that for maintaining our brand, our sprint milestones, and our analyst data weekly. Okay. Right? Sprint milestones. Why does analyst weekly? No, maybe analyst reports. Yeah, we're going to do that instead. Okay. So our outputs. Okay. Our outputs are going to be weekly content calendar. So we're going to make sure that this is a copy paste ready for creator, because creator is going to be the one that is actually going to create the actual content. So because of the fact that all of the input, which is going to be everything that we're tracking, right? To understand like the growth and the industry as far as what is popular, what's trending, what's not, what's hot, what's not. That's literally as simple as that. And we have to be able to create copy and paste for content so that it's for literally the content like engine or the content agent, sorry, because it's going to be information that is going to be used and reframed then to create our own individual captions and hashtags and everything for our content. Okay. So now we need to also have monthly campaign, yeah. Right? Yeah. We'll have excuse me, campaign themes. I'm trying to think of what else. How about our collab outreach? Which is going to be a list. So we'll have like, I don't know, how many targets should we have weekly? I don't know. Let's just put like 20. 20 targets weekly? Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Why not? We get to make the rules. Okay. We're also going to have our competitive positioning nodes. Right? Our competitive positioning notes. And then our audience persona profiles. Oops. Okay. Our hashtag recipes, because hashtags are everything on social media. Holy cow. Like something can make or break based off of your hashtag, dude. It's crazy. So we'll have like 3 broad, 4 niche, 2 branded, and 2 trending. So that's going to be, what, 11 per post? We'll give it, yeah. Maybe we should have that, yeah, because... how do we want to do the hashtag recipe? You know what? What if we do, instead of this, we're going to say hashtag recipe. This is actually super crucial. I was thinking like we could do an over, but I'm like, wait, they only have 5 hashtags. Create. Okay, how about this? Based on let's just say based on strategist insights, populate hashtags based on similar content that has viral tracking and use competitor landscape and data to parse sources for virality. Content posted in the sector of AI, tech, innovation, and discovered in the competitor landscape. Okay. All right. So now we're going to have our standing orders. Okay. So we're going to say every Monday, yeah, we're going to produce the week's content calendar. Yeah. And then every Friday, bro, I need to change the song. I'm not feeling it. Hold on. It's like, no, let's not. It's too much. It's not a vibe. Not a vibe. No, it's not. We don't like it. It is not. It is annoying. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. These are all. Oh, okay. We can do. Some of these are aight. How about this one? Everything's like tropical. We'll do this one. I like this one. Okay. So now we're doing our standing orders, right? I'm just going to copy this just in case we lose it. Okay. So our standing orders are going to be, okay. So every Friday, we're going to have review for what's worked. Yeah. Yeah. So review what worked. Every Friday, we're going to do this. Every Friday. Because this is honestly how you do it. Like, okay. So review what we worked. So review what worked and adjust next week's. Right? Okay. And then we're going to maintain a quote, quote, live swipe file. Wait, actually, how do we do a live swipe file? Dude, my hair's still wet. Okay. So we'll have a live swipe file of the trending formats. And hooks. Because everything needs a hook. Yes. Okay. So now we have our Agent 3. Which our Agent 3 is going to be our creator. Man, I might just be able to build this whole thing in this episode. Wow. Okay. Actually, we don't need that there. Okay. So our role for our creator. This is going to be the production engine. Very wow. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to say the production engine. So we're going to say everything that gets made. Everything that gets made. It's very wow. Everything that gets made is made here. And then the responsibilities. Bro, I really need to check my contacts. Not good. Okay. So we're going to say responsibilities are you're going to write real scripts. So this is like the hook, call to action, which stands for CTA. Wait, hook, CTA, and then like under 60 seconds, right? Okay. And then write carousel copies. So we're going to have slide 1, hook, slides 2 to 7 will be our value, and slide 8 will be our CTA. Okay. And then write options. This is like our hook line. Our story. Our CTA. And emoji enhanced. Wow, my contacts are... Okay. Yeah. And then we're also going to have our write story sequences. It's going to be like 3 to 5 frames minimum. We're also going to say create visual asset briefs, which is going to be like 3 to 5 frames, I'm thinking, minimum. Right? Does that sound good? Wait, I literally just write this. Well, I have the story sequences, and then we have... We don't need 3 to 5, right? No, because we're... Okay, let's actually say our visual asset briefs will be created in... Let's just say created in Canva. Yeah, we're going to say created in Canva as templates, as production ready templates. Okay. Graphics and overlays. We'll just say that. I think that's good for that. Okay, and then next we're going to do write our collab pitch deck. My goodness. Okay. So our collab pitch deck is going to be like our collab pitch templates. Yeah. Okay. Dude, what about live streaming? I just realized that that's actually super important. So I'm going to do that too. We're going to do live stream, dude, because I freaking suck at live stream. I'm dead. Thank you. We're going to do live stream title and description. Like, you know what? I'm also going to include talking points. Don't judge me. You're not. I know you're not. Okay. So that's really important, and I'm super glad I put that in there. Okay. Collab pitch templates, and what else can we include in there? No, I think that's good for now. I think that we don't want to go over a crazy amount. So now we have our quality standard. Yeah, our quality. Wow. Wow. So our quality standard is going to say, wow, every piece, wow, of content okay, every piece of content. So let's think. So psychology says that 2 seconds, after 2 seconds, people are either engaged or not, right? So let's say that every piece of content, so if 2 seconds, they're beating at 2 seconds, that means at 3 seconds that would need to pass the test, because that means that they maintained and stopped, right? So stop and scroll. Mochi? So we're going to say every piece of content must pass the 3 second scroll test. So if the hook doesn't stop, a thumb of 3 seconds. Rewrite it. Yeah, because, dude, that's everything. The hook. We need the hook. We need it. I think about it. We need it. Okay. All right. Now we're going to have our brand voice checklist. And this is before every output. Before every output. Cool. So we're going to say, we're going to do close and open brackets like this. Is that the... Dude, I can't even see that. That's not good. Oh my God. I can't believe my eyes are that bad now. Wow. That's very bad. Wow. Okay. So, let's do, for my brand, I'm going to do like deep space aesthetic. I love space. And we'll also do like bright and bubbly. Guys, this is going to be kind of crazy because guess what? Like, I said that I was going to do this with you guys, so my entire brand might change. That's okay. That's the beauty of it, is I'm totally willing to take that risk. We're also going to need a wild hook first. Do we want to lead with curiosity? Yes. I was like, do we want to lead with curiosity? Yes. Not explanation. Wow. Yeah, we're going to say that's super important. Okay. Next, we're going to say brand personality present. And we're going to say Cosmic Kitty. Tropical. Sexy brain vibes. Oh, wow. That's okay. I love it. Okay. Now we need to do our empowerment angle. So we show you how, right? Not just what we do. Which I'm literally showing you guys how I'm building this, which I already, so fun fact, I have already built out a company that has created multiple agents based off of different templates, and they all have voice recognition on them as well. So I thought, like, why not build a system live and so people could see that they can do it too. It's like, you should never be afraid to use AI to build something, but should if you don't realize or understand how powerful it is. I would definitely recommend doing it inside of a code editor. So not just like out in the wild, you know. As I say that, and I'm doing this, like everything in here. It's okay because this is inside my code editor. So we aight. Okay. So not just what we do. What else, bruh? Let's see what else we got. How about our call to action? Okay. Wow. Okay. So we've gotten a lot already. Jeez. I would copy this just in case you end up losing it. Okay. You could honestly, we could technically write this in an entire file. But I don't know why we're not. It's fine. It's fine. We're just doing this in a session. That's why. And this session is all in our VS Code. So it works. Okay. So now we're going to do our distributor agent. Actually, no, we have to capitalize that. I just realized that. Okay. And then we're going to say the role is gets the right content to the right platform at the right time. Very yes. And its responsibilities are to manage the publishing queue, right? Probably across all platforms. Okay. Probably adopt content format. Yeah. Per platform. So like our aspect ratio, for example. Our caption length. Our hashtag count. Okay. So that is very important. And then we have our scheduling, right? Because we need to know scheduling at optimal times. I really hope that the way I've approached this makes anyone feel like they could literally do this, because it's so easy. It really is. Okay. So, and I feel a lot safer now that I realize like it doesn't remember information and context, right? Unless you specify things and you give it context. So, I mean, we're doing this all locally, so I think it's fine, to be honest. We're building out the system, but we're going to utilize that API. Like I said, the key is that's what we're going to need to connect. And we want to make sure that that's always safe, no matter what. Okay. So we're going to manage our collab content, right? Our workflows. You guys want to know something crazy? So I almost was like feeling so nauseous today that I almost canceled. No, I didn't. But I did feel really freaking sick. So, okay, tell me. This is not the smartest thing I've ever done. So I went to hot yoga because I was like, okay, I'm a little stressed. Like, this is going to be kind of crazy. And, you know, I want to make sure that it's valuable for people, not just like, you know. So I went to hot yoga and I went on an empty stomach and I was dehydrated. And I sat and I was in the farthest from the door. And I haven't been to hot yoga in a bit. And so I got so freaking nauseous after. I was like, dude, this is bad. Like, I couldn't even drive. And so that's why my hair is wet, is because I literally had to shower because I was just like, dude, this is too much. It was bad. I was like thinking like, what is wrong? Yeah, it was not good. So if you ever do hot yoga, make sure you drink water before. Wow. That's not, yeah. See, we all have our moments. Mine just happened to be at random times. And hot yoga today was, to be honest, I thought it was just going to be like pretty chill and easy. Holy crap, was I wrong? It was freaking intense. So it was 75 minutes. And it's power hot yoga. It's not hot yoga. Like, you just don't go in and like the hatha. It's vinyasa hot yoga. And it's 120 degrees. It's like one of the hottest places around here. And so, yeah. Okay. So we're going to say repurpose content platforms. Like one piece. We're going to say many formats. Right? Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to manage. You know what? I just realized this. We're going to manage the freaking live stream setup checklist. I am so, wow. Dude, it's okay. Like I said, this is beautiful because this is reality, dude. Nothing's perfect. If anyone told you that social media is perfect, that's bull. Absolute bull. And guess what? I'm not perfect. I don't care to admit that I'm not. I'm absolutely not. So yeah, whatever. I need help with managing a lot of social stuff. I suck. Guys, I'm horrible at social media. Like, so bad. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's why we're building this. Wow. Okay, track the posting. I said stake. I meant streak. It's okay. And we're gonna track the posting streak, and we're gonna flag any gaps. Okay. And then we're gonna maintain the cross posting. Wow. Okay. So we're going to maintain the cross posting matrix, right? Okay. I think that's good for, honestly, for the responsibilities right now, because we don't want to go too intense. I think that's good. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to do the outputs. The outputs. This is very nice. Okay. Outputs are going to be, let me see. Let's do, how did I do the formatting up here for outputs? I'm trying to see how I did this. Okay, no, I just freaking put it like this. Okay, perfect. So we're going to do our daily posting queue. Which is our copy and paste, right? And then we're going to do platform adaptation. Adaptation, duh. Wow. Platform adaptation. How are we going to know that it needs notes? We need notes. That's why. Okay. So this is going to be like, what changes, bruh? Like, what changes per platform? Because not every platform is going to have the same posting queue, literally. And there's going to be a lot of different things that we're going to have to alter. Okay. So then we're going to have our repurposing map. So this is going to be like one reel. And this is going to be the Instagram reel. Plus TikTok. Plus YouTube. Actually, YouTube short. What about Pinterest? Like a Pinterest idea pin? That could be kind of fun. Because, okay, let's think about this. If we have one reel, right? Which the reel, thinking about the format. We have the Instagram reel. We can make it into TikTok. We can do a YouTube short. Pinterest idea pin. What else? Am I missing something? Nah, we're just gonna leave that. That's fine. Okay. And then, dude, our live stream prep checklist. It's okay. Like I said, it's beautiful. Okay, and then our collab coordination log. And then our posting streak tracker. All right. Okay. Cool. So now we have the platform matrix. Okay. So we're basically going to have to break this down by platforms, which are going to be like Instagram, Reels, Wait, no. Platforms are going to be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Pinterest. Okay, dude, this song, so I generated this, right? But it's like the same song. Hold on, let me find, where is it? I mean, it's good, but is it great? It's aight. Should we generate a song? Or nah? Should I just pick one? I don't want to get off topic. Ooh, this one's called Inception. Let's do this one. Okay. So we have... How about X? Should we do X? Why not? And LinkedIn. Okay. So for each of these, we also need to specify like what type of format. Okay. So primary format. We're going to have Reels plus carousels. Yeah. Right? Yeah, that makes sense. Right? Yeah. Okay. So our platforms, cool, we'll have that. And then our post frequency is going to be 3 times a day. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I keep asking, I'm like, right? Yeah. Okay. And then our best time is going to be, first of all, for Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m., since that's very popular, 12:30 p.m., and 7 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So then we'll do the same for TikTok. So our TikTok are... Wait, 7:30 p.m. Okay. Okay. So then TikTok will be... Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to think of how I'm doing this. Yeah, so we have Instagram and then we have TikTok, right? So our primary format for this is going to be probably short form video, I guess. Right? Yeah. And then our post frequency is going to be 2 to 3 times a day. And then our best time our best time will be so I did some research and TikTok's kind of weird. Their posting time is like very odd. Well, it's not very odd, but I don't understand why it's not the same as friggin' Instagram. It's 9 a.m. Like, what? I say that like that's so different. It's not, but still, that's odd. That's not the same. Hi, Moji Beer. Okay. 9 a.m., 3 p.m. Mochi, don't even think about it. He likes to get on my computer sometimes. And 8 p.m. Okay. Yeah. Now we have YouTube. So YouTube is going to be shorts. Wait, we have to put primary format. And the primary format is going to be shorts. And streams. Wow, I'm already at 10:30 already. Dang. Okay. Shorts, streams. We also have to have our post frequency. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, our post frequency. Post frequency is going to be for YouTube just once. I really don't want to do it once a day. Hopefully we can streamline this content so that I don't have to post like that. Wow. Okay. Dude, yeah. I mean, that's what's popular if I want to actually... Ay, Dios míos. Yeah, honestly, with the kind of milestones I'm trying to achieve for this, oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to have to kind of listen to what is specified and given. Okay. So best times... is going to be for YouTube 10 a.m., which is so weird. Or live. As is. Yeah. Okay. Pinterest, we can figure out. LinkedIn, we can figure out. We don't need to write that right now. I'm not going to do that. Unless you guys think that we should. Should we do that now? Oops. We can. Okay. I will just maybe LinkedIn because that's a popular. Okay, so primary format is going to be thought leadership. Because I feel like a lot of people use LinkedIn. I do too. Leadership. Post frequency is going to be 1 times a day. And the best time is going to be 8 a.m. Okay. So now, because I think that it gets the gist of this, I think that this is pretty solid for that. We're going to do now our repurpose rule. Dude, this song is also nah. Nah. Wow. I generated so much music. Okay. Maybe this one? Meh. It's funny because I need more music. Like... Okay, I like this one. I could vibe with this, I think. Okay. So now our repurpose role is going to be every piece of content must become at least, I hope this doesn't backfire, but we're going to say at least 3 platform formats. Before it is considered published. Okay. Ay, Dios míos. Okay, we've agent 5 already. Okay. So this is going to be fun to see this output. And this is our analyst, baby. We're almost there. Wow. Whole episode, we did the whole prompting. It's okay. Then we have to refine it. Because guess what? We're prompting it, creating like all of the agents. But we have a lot more we still got to do. Okay. So this is going to be responsible for turning the data into decisions. So like that feedback loop though, that feedback loop that keeps the system evolving. Oh, shoot. Okay. Now, what are your responsibilities now? You are responsible for the following. You will track follower growth. Wow, if I could spell track right. Track follower growth daily against milestone targets. Okay. Then we're going to track engagement. Our rate per post and per platform, right? Per post and per platform. Okay, now we're also going to say you need to identify the top performing content type. So you, I'm just kidding. No, we're going to say that actually though. Identify. I'm having fun now. I was like so nervous about doing this, but you know what? I'm glad that I'm doing it because this is freaking fun. Okay, so you will identify the top performing content. Yes. Types, hooks, and posting times. Yes, that's very good. Okay. You will also identify underperforming content. Right? And we got to understand why. So you got to diagnose that. Diagnose, baby. Diagnose why. Like, why? Okay. And then we're also going to do reporting for A and B, right? We also have to do A and B test signals. That's super important. So this is like our hooks. Hook A versus hook B, baby. Format A versus format B. Okay. I'm such a freaking dork. Okay. We're also going to track our ROI, which is like our followers, bruh. We got to track that. Okay. So how are we going to do this? We can track our collab. Yeah, let's track our collab. And then that will be our ROI because we're going to look at like our followers gained. Per collab. We want to know that. We want to build a community of builders, not just ourselves. Like, that's the whole goal of this. It's like everyone's getting to build their dream. And that's really important that we get to build it as we want and together. Because it is so much better to do things together than alone, to be honest. It really is. Okay. We also have to produce weekly performance, reports. And we gotta make sure to alert our orchestrator. When trajectory falls below, we don't want that. Falls below, no. Milestone pace. And then we also want to understand the feed findings, right? Because those feed findings, though, are going to be very valuable. I don't know why I put that in capitals. For the strategist, since our strategist is the brain. Feed findings to strategists. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. So we have that weekly for our calendar. Adjustments, right? Okay, now we have our input. And this is going to be like our daily follower count. Updates. Which is like our dashboards, right? Because that's what we're also creating. Yeah. We got a lot we're building, guys. Why do you think that we got all these prompts and everything that we've got already like ready to hit the ground running? Because the prompting and the architecture is everything. So we have to make sure that everything that we're specifying, that we can refine that. Because testing is everything. Okay. And that QA, though, we need to make sure he's on point. Or she. Okay. So we have our dashboard entry, right? When should we do a weekly performance review? Because we need to do a weekly performance report. Maybe like, what's a good day for that? I think I'm such a nerd. I'm like, maybe Sunday. How about Friday? I think that's good. Okay. And then how about our top 3 content wins? And our top 3 flags. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my gosh, my bad. I just realized the whole thing's not there. Okay. Okay. So I could totally just let me close this part. Well, there we go. There we go, as you can see better. Okay. So we'll say top 3 content wins, top 3 flags for every Friday. What else do we want? Specific. Can you guys hear my music? I hope so. Okay. And then we're also going to do our engagement rate benchmarks. Because we need that stacked. And then this is actually probably going to include our target. Right? So like stats is going to be like 5% early. Wow. And then maybe 5% plus early. I'm trying to think how I want to put that. Yeah. I think that's good. 5% early and then like 5% at scale or 3. Let's do 3% at scale. Yeah. Because we want to have these benchmarks that are going to be consistently, like, we're able to measure in that specific range. And if we do choose something too extreme, then we're not going to have a product that is accurately measuring these benchmarks. I think that's smart. I don't know. You could absolutely argue me on that. If you have better insight or you know how to strategize this better, please let me know. That'd be awesome. I'm all about building this and implementing better strategies that we could use to make this a better product for everyone. So absolutely would love to know that. Okay. I think that's, I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, I think that's pretty solid. Okay. So now we have our, since this is a community platform, right? We want to do our collab ROI score card. And then our pivot recommendations. Yeah. So this is like our flagged to orchestration or orchestrator. Yeah. Didn't do right. Okay. And now we have our milestone pacing formula. Fun. Our milestone pacing formula. Okay. So, our milestones are going to be day 10, 1,000 followers. So the average, if we're going to do that, is we would have needed, shoot, well, how long ago did I start this? When did I start streaming, guys? I should know this. It's been like 2 weeks, right? We're just going to say roughly like 143 a day. Or 100 and... let's just say 100 per day. Okay. Actually, you know what? I think that I'm gonna have this be created real time. So I'm gonna say create a real time formula based off my current follower count and an average out my daily follower count needed with the target and milestone. Okay. So we're going to say an alert trigger now. And the alert trigger is going to be if daily growth fails or falls behind, which it hasn't been the best because we've not really built this yet. We need to do it. We've got to build it fast because guess what? Yeah, I should have gotten ahead of this now, but I wanted to do everything. To be honest, I have no excuse. I really don't. Let's be real. I was just scared. That's honestly the truth. Like, actually. Yeah. I was scared to fail in public and be judged for it. Yeah. But you know what? I don't really care anymore. Clearly, I don't care. I just care about building things and helping people use this to be able to build their dreams out, because this is the time to build, you guys. I mean, clearly, I didn't even care if I was like, I'm not even gonna do my hair. I cared more about this than that. Even though I was like feeling like goat tits. Dude, this is definitely for 18 plus, because the things that I say on here sometimes are kind of ridiculous, but that's okay. Okay, so anyways, so I said the alert trigger is if the daily growth falls behind below 70% of the target pace for consecutive 3 days, then the analyst has to escalate that to the orchestrator for emergency strategy session. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know why? Because we are getting to the Guardian QA, which is so awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Gosh, I'm such a nerd. Wow, dude, it's already 10:50. Wow. Okay. That's wild. Okay. What?